Welcome back to Basin Motorsports for another episode here in the garage. So recently I installed some new headlights on the Wide Fox. Now these included a driving light, red demon eye, plus a high and a low. They're an LED projector, but the purpose of this video is to show you how to align your headlights, whether you're replacing just some standard halogens or something new. So here's what we're going to do to set this up. So as you can see, the car is sitting in front of the garage. Now the garage is going to be my place where I project the headlights on so I can see the alignment. The distance from the white garage door to the front of the headlights themselves, not the bumper, the headlights, is 10 feet. Now I've already measured from the ground surface to the middle of the projector lamps because we're going to do this with high beams, and those are going to be 25 inches. So from the car up there, up from the gravel up, you can see the horizontal lines. Those are at 25 inches off the ground. So essentially it is a level piece. So if I extend it out from the headlamps all the way out, those will go all the way to that horizontal piece. Now the center of the car, which is the center of the grille, is then projected back on there. So if you see the center plus sign or the center cross, how you look at it, that is going to be the horizontal level and the vertical center of the car. And from each of those, I have 4 marks out. Now, as indicating the center of the projector lamps or the bulbs or the headlights. And what those are going to be is the high beams, which are the inboard pieces, are going to be 16 inches from center. And the outboard, the low beams, or the low headlamps, is going to be 24 inches from center. So the goal with this is to adjust the headlamps on high, or the high beams, to where they hit basically the center of those 4 pluses, the inboards and the outboards. All right, so here's the starting point with the high beams on. What you'll notice is you've got basically 5 zones, I guess you want to call it, and that's going to be your lights. So the center itself is really the bottom pieces of your low beams, because these are run highs and lows, and then you've got kind of the higher beams on the projector lamps. So looking at the left side, you can see that those are outboard and a little low. On the right, you can see those are outboard and a little high. So the goal is to adjust these so that they all kind of come towards the center and then vertically aligned at the 25-inch mark. Looking at these headlamps, what you're going to find is that each one is going to have 2 different adjusters. On one side of it, you're going to have a horizontal, which moves it left to right, and on the top it's going to be an up-down. So screwing in on the top means it's going to go in this way and it's going to pull this thing up. If I screwed in here, it's going to pull it this way, it's going to pull it to the right. So what I'm going to do is individually on each headlamp is go through and adjust those either down or up, left or right, based on where it's showing against the door. And then we're going to get every headlight as best we can to the center marks. All right, here's the finished product. So one thing you're going to find if you use the same projector lamps is that they're going to have some bleed over between the lenses themselves, or the bulbs. So you've got 4 bulbs themselves, and what you're finding, or what I'm finding, is that you're going to have some bleed over between them. So you've got multiples in here. So whether it looks like 5 hot spots, you've actually got 4 different bulbs making that happen. So the way it is, you've got these 2 hot spots. This is 1 bulb, this is 2, this is 3, and then this is 4. So you're going to have 4 different places in there. The goal is to make them as best as possible. So you can see in there that these are now adjusted to where they're all the same height. The intensity of the hot spots is at the 25-inch level. And if I show you around here, kind of looking down at these lights, you can see that it's got the projector lamp on, and then it also has the low lamps on, which are kind of the left and the right of that. And I've got the demon eye turned off at this point, just because it'll go on, but it really kind of gets drowned out by the lamps themselves. So if I pull back, definitely a different story with that. Huge difference. Now if I turn these on to low, there's going to be your low lamps. So again, you want to make sure that you're below your cutoff. So you can see that because this car is lowered, I've adjusted everything down. So now that it hits below the 25-inch mark, And that's really kind of my cutoff. I want it to be low on the ground so that it illuminates the road, but doesn't blind oncoming vehicles themselves. And that's straight ahead as best as I can do. And it looks great. It's a huge, huge difference. So remember, I showed you in the headlight video, this was the beginning of what I started with just lows and no highs. All right, so here is going to be the low lamps. Now, one thing you'll notice is that they are roughly about the second rib, I guess you call it, in the door aligned up. And now this is lows and highs. So it's pretty easy to do. Just remember, you've got two screws. You've got along the top is going to be your kind of your vertical, where it's going to change it from up or down. Remember, screw in, turns the light up, loosen it, turn counterclockwise, goes down. Now on either the inboard or the outboard, you're going to have your horizontals, which will change it left to right. So screwing it in will turn it to the right, because that is the clockwise. And if you go counterclockwise or to the left, it will turn the light left. So the goal is to balance on this stuff. Make sure your low is below the cutoff line, and everything there, you won't be blinding other drivers or motorists coming at you. And for the highs, make sure that you've got everything as balanced as best as possible. Now, it's not easy to hit the 16 and 24 inch off center mark like I showed you, but everything there is balanced, and I feel pretty comfortable with the way it is. So if there's anything in here I didn't cover well enough or didn't cover at all, you're welcome to leave a comment down below, hit like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.